Start of episode! Welcome everybody to the Media Lunch Break, where we give you all of your comic, geek, and movie news, all in the time it takes to eat a good sandwich and get a cup of coffee. But you don't like coffee.
I don't. How did you know that? You remember.
I'm Chris Treble. Alongside me, as always, is my co-host Andrew Dunn. Say hello, Andrew.
Not even decaf.
Yeah, that was a little reference to what we're talking about today. Think about it. You see what I did there? Oh yeah, everybody, put on your bullet hole sweatshirts and drop another $1 in the swear jar. Cause sweet Christmas, are we talking about Luke Cage?
See, that was great, and you didn't even have that written down.
I didn't have that written down. I did think about it earlier.
See what you can do when you believe in yourself?
Absolutely nothing. We're talking about Luke Cage. Now, last week, we talked about the first 5 episodes.
Yep.
I had only seen the first 5. You saw all of them.
Yep.
I made a couple of predictions for what was going to happen.
Right.
And we can see now if I was correct. Sure enough, Cottonmouth did get his comeuppance.
Mm-hmm. Very soon.
Very soon.
Right after that.
Shades did not have superpowers.
By the way, spoiler alert for everything.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna we already sort of talked about it without spoilers.
Yeah, we talked about it without spoilers as much as we could. We spoiled a little bit, but if you've gotten this far, spoilers, all right? And if you've really, the episode is all about Luke Cage. So if you haven't watched Luke Cage, don't
just
listen.
Skip this one.
What are you doing? Like, come on.
And probably at this point, if you're gonna let's be honest with ourselves.
Everybody's watched Luke Cage by now.
Or you're not gonna.
Or you're not gonna.
Yeah.
Which in the same case, you're probably not listening to a podcast like this. Yeah, Shades didn't have any superpowers.
Nope. Yeah, you really thought he was gonna, right?
I really thought he was gonna, because he's so weird.
Well, let's say he doesn't have superpowers yet.
All right, I'll give you that.
You know, we've got a whole other season.
Yep, that's
more
true.
than likely, he's still kicking.
What else did I say? I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
You know, the politician, she got her comeuppance. Yeah, what else? Whatever. You know, I made some predictions. I was right on some. I was wrong on some. Overall, though, I still really like this series. I think last week I said I liked it the most.
Yep.
I'm going to say I don't like it the most.
Yep.
But...
Welcome back.
Yeah. But I don't hate it. I mean, I still like...
It's still very good.
It's still really good. I definitely like it more than Jessica Jones.
Oh, man. Jessica Jones is the best one.
I don't agree.
Wow. I thought Luke Cage was way better on Jessica Jones.
I just find... To me, Jessica Jones felt very one note to me, and this
is it because you can't picture a woman with superpowers?
Yes.
Are you a chauvinist?
Yo, big time.
Okay, good.
No,
I was worried.
It was just it's interesting where it was going, but again, I really like the layering that they do in the show about the fact that it's about community and you can feel it. I think there's just an additional something about this show that kind of heightens it for me in that aspect. It also definitely breaks away from a lot of the tropes that these Netflix series have kind of established themselves in. They kind of, everything happens on a rainy day or at night.
Sure.
Whereas a lot of stuff happens in the daylight or out in the open.
Sure. I mean, the other shows have sort of needed stuff like that because Daredevil is at his best.
Yes, and I get that.
He has a great advantage in the darkness.
But there's just, it becomes very one note. This, and that kind of breaks away from some of this, and I think it plays with a particular voice that I found very interesting.
Okay.
We talked about it a little bit, where it's not just blaxploitation, but it does kind of play to the neighborhood it is set in the world that it's set in.
So you just said it's not your favorite one anymore. What is your favorite one?
I'm actually going to say Daredevil season 2.
Oh, okay.
Is my favorite. I think I think it drops off around when Elektra shows up.
Sure.
Like, they finish the Frank
Yeah.
Castle plotline. Elektra conveniently shows up.
I was going to say we have a huge disagreement because I actually like the first season of Daredevil better than the second one, but I do think that it's because Elektra's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not... Frank Castle is fantastic.
But that's what I mean. I think the first 6 or 7, however long that story arc takes place,
yes,
is so good.
Yeah.
That it doesn't... It's not that it makes up for it, but... Not only do you have that great storyline that ends in that graveyard scene with that great speech, but then the subplot of it carries through for the rest of the episodes.
Yes.
Which kind of got me through all the Elektra stuff.
Yes.
Because...
Once he comes back,
it's really, really good. Even the trial of Frank Castle.
I mean, the scene of him in the prison...
Yeah.
It's
great.
Where he's fighting just 30 guys is astounding.
It's fantastic. And the stuff with him and Kingpin, all that stuff kind of carries through.
Yep.
So that heightens the series for me. I don't know what the hell was going on with the giant clay pot that looked like it was just a big version
We'll
of
get there. I think there's going to be a lot of that in Iron Fist, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's going to play heavily into the Defenders. So that's the other thing is I think I was excusing a lot of the weakness of that season.
Sure.
Because I was like, all right, this is all set up for something else.
Do you feel the after effects of all of the shows that we have seen so far in Luke Cage? Or any?
Define after effects.
They sort of hint at, certainly Jessica Jones, who is the quote rebound girl or whatever. We feel the effects of that. He's moved to Harlem. He's getting away from everything.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, and this is where it kind of, listen, overall, I really, really like this series.
Yeah,
so there are certain things I'm going to point out that kind of fell flat for me.
Yep.
And I would just want to preface it with, I don't want to be one of those internet people that is just like, oh, this happened, so it sucks.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's really well made. The cinematography alone is enough to encourage people to watch it.
It is, because it also sets it, I think that's one of the things that sets itself apart from the other
Definitely
3 seasons.
Really vibrant colors.
It has a vibrancy to it. Those dolly shots or those tracking shots where they're going around and they have that's that kind of voice that I think it has. Mm-hmm. It has a very clear voice of itself.
Yep.
That kind of sets it apart, that I think is why I like it so much.
Yep.
What was I just saying? What was the question you asked? You just asked me.
What did you feel? Did you feel any of the after effects from the previous shows?
Yeah, and I think that comes from seeing the other 3.
Yeah.
From building on that and saying, okay, we're going to depart from this a little bit because it's starting to get the same, and you're going to get the fans are going to be able to be ahead of you.
Yep.
So we're going to take this in a slightly different direction. It's going to still feel like it's in this world. But we're going to take it in a slightly different direction, so you're not going to know where we're going with this. Sorry, I'm looking at notes.
Let's talk some more about opinions. What fell flat near the end?
Okay, that's exactly what I was looking at. I'll start off what I didn't like with something I did like. It did not feel like it had the normal episode 8-9 lag to it. Sure. Because as you talked about before, episode 6 ends with the arrest of Cottonmouth. Yeah. And you're like, okay, so I don't know I don't know where this is going, because it does feel like that's the wrap up. Mm-hmm. Then 2 episodes later, because the next episode he's out again. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so we're starting the storyline over. What the hell is this? And then he's killed.
Yeah, almost
by
immediately.
His cousin. Yeah. Almost immediately.
In a fit of rage.
Right, and that took me through those episodes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's where that lag would be, and you put a momentous occasion and a momentous event that you did not know was going to happen and would never have thought would happen.
I agree. I think the other shows have a solid... they have episodes that are a 7 out of 10, then there's some that are 3 out of 10, they don't really need to be there, and then there's a 9.5 or something that's really interesting. And I think Luke Cage has a steady 7 through the whole show.
I would agree with that. It sits at a steady 7. Yeah. And it sometimes dips to a 6 and sometimes rises to a 9.
It's never enough that I want to shut it off.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And there are certain things there are certain ones that I was like, yes, I definitely want to go to the next one. Yep. And there are certain ones that I was like, okay, you know what? I can stop. I can go do whatever I have to do in my day.
Well, definitely.
And I'll pick this up tonight.
Most of the episodes had really interesting cliffhangers.
Yes.
So that was good.
That was at least good. Yeah, they did do that. That being said, there was... Okay, so Cottonmouth dies. And you have the introduction of Diamondback.
Right.
Who, at first, I really love that character.
And he's... You know what's great? Is that even before his physical being is there, his presence is felt from episode 1.
Right. And so when he enters, it pays off really well.
Yeah.
Because he actually... You know, that's a big risk to take.
Yeah.
If you're going to build up a character that much and then not just establish him as someone who comes in and so now you have a face to a name and then leaves.
Yep.
Kind of like what they're doing with Thanos, where it's like, you see him for a hot second. He takes over as the new villain.
Yep.
Like, now that I think about it, I totally forgot we had a first half of the season with Cottonmouth after he dies.
Right.
Because Diamondback comes in a big, bad way. And I really liked him.
Yeah.
Really liked it. We'll get into how he
his downfall.
His downfall was really quick.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that in a second.
Quick and obvious.
But but I will say this. With his introduction, that got me through that slump.
Yep.
He's introduced in Big Bad Way. He shoots Luke Cage with the Judas bullets. Great storyline.
Yep.
Loved it. All for it. Here's where they lost me. And this is a trope that I've seen in several different genres of movies several different times. Night Nurse takes Luke Cage to the doctor that did the experiment on Luke Cage and gave him his powers. And she's like, you gotta fix him. And he's like, I can't fix him. I haven't been doing this for years. And she's like, well, he's gonna die if you don't. And he's like, okay, there's one shot.
Yep.
It's in my shed.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Why do you have this?
Yep.
What the fuck? Why is that there?
I also don't like that actor. Like, I don't think he was very interesting.
I like him. Oh, by the way, we were talking about how there's a bunch of connections to The Wire. He's in The Wire.
Of course.
It's fascinating. But I was just like, why? Why?
Yep.
Do you have all of those things
basically
in your shed?
Everything that happened in there, I was like, I don't understand why this is happening or what this is doing, really.
This is clearly
how
a
is
patch
this working
to get us through to the end of the series.
Yes.
Like,
well,
set this up.
It's clearly a plot device,
right? And that's what I mean. Like, we set this up, and now we have to get us, but we can't kill off Luke Cage, and we have to end the season in a certain way. So we got to get through.
Did you notice she only took one bullet out of him?
I noticed that too. What happened to the bullet in his stomach?
Yeah.
Which he references later because he holds up his shirt to his stomach.
Yeah.
And they look and see no scar. And I was like, that's impressive.
See, I thought
Apparently
they took the one out of
shrapnel.
the stomach.
No, they took the one out of his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Which is the second one.
Yeah.
So it's
also, like, that's the one that probably doesn't matter as much.
Because it's on the opposite side of his heart.
Yeah.
This one is going towards vital organs.
Yeah.
This one's going towards nothing.
Right.
What
also,
are you
that
doing?
whole it's going towards your organs because your what was it, seashells or seahorses or something? Your shellfish skin is dragging it in.
Because I got the logic of it. It's where it's because it's healing. It's like the constant healing is pushing it. I think that was my logic to it. But that being said, I'm just like, you put him in the and this guy has a tank.
Yep.
And he's got
everything you need for it.
He's got monitors and an EKG system.
Well,
and
here's an interesting thing. They set up as well that he is probably not the altruistic saint that he says he is. It's in the comics, he is part of an experiment to recreate the the Captain America serum.
Which I fully expected.
So it's possible that he works for Hydra. He's been lying. He's been working on experiments since he left.
In his shed?
I mean, yeah, if the police come and take a look around, he's like, I don't have anything here.
But in theory, Hydra, first of all, if the police come and they want to look around, one of the places they're going is the shed.
It might not be his, even. It might just be a shed. Because he points to it and it's pretty far away. And he might be like, I don't know what that is. You know?
Okay, sure. Let's go with that. But
no, I know. I'm trying to help.
No, I know, but it's just like but like I said, this is a trope I've actually seen in several. I can't name them.
Yeah.
But I know I've seen this.
Well, it got a little mad sciencey. Like it got a little like 1940s.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like this guy says, I stopped doing that. I haven't been doing this for years. So why do you have this shit in your shed?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
And if he does, if he has this stuff in his shed and he's lying about not doing it, then he's just a crazy person.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I don't understand his intentions. I don't understand his arc in this arc. I don't know why he's here.
Yeah. It fell apart for me. And like I said, once we got through that, I was like, all right, I'll just whatever.
Yeah.
And then they got back into the city and I was like, all right, let's just move on. And it got really good again.
Yeah.
But like that 1-2 episodes, I'm sitting there going, what? Really?
Yeah.
This? Like, we could have done better with this.
Yes, agreed.
I expected much better from this.
Yep.
And that's where it fell, like, from being one of my favorites.
Yeah, I feel like you know what would have been better is to have, so it like drills in, right?
Yeah.
First of all.
Well, it explodes, but
Right.
on him, it'll drill in.
So,
I know what you're saying.
So, what I feel like would have been better, you know what would have been really interesting? Have one of them have a connection to Tony Stark and get one of the arc reactor electromagnets.
Yes.
And use that to pull it through.
Sure.
Or find a drill of some kind that works. Like, did they say what these drills were made out of? Why they were able to drill into his skin?
Yeah, no. That was also one of the thinner parts. Is like, I have this bullet. He's bulletproof, but this bullet can work. And I'm like, well, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, we've seen him take
is it laced with kryptonite?
We've seen him take a circular saw to his own abs and do nothing.
Yeah, he shot himself in the stomach. No, was it this in the park? I'm thinking, what did he shoot him? Remember, he was like, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he shot himself. He was concussed by a shotgun to the head in Jessica Jones, but other than that, he was fine. And he survived a rocket launcher attack.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what this one bullet, he can just... Because
how does it even, if you're going to drill something like that, it has to stick in there.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
It has to stick in there. So it makes more sense to shoot a thing that has, like, arms attached to it that sticks to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it claws itself like a crab.
Well,
and then a drill starts and then it just slowly drills himself.
Here's the thing.
Which would, by the way, would have been better. Because then you're slowly watching this thing just slowly drill itself into his heart.
Yeah.
And it's just like slowly breaking his skin.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. In the comics, he just has invulnerable skin.
Yeah, everything else is fine.
Right, it's
everything
normal.
Else is normal. I mean.
So if he gets hit by a car, his internal organs can be super fucked up.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been a better...
That's a plot point in... there's so many with the same title. Secret Wars. It's Secret War? Secret Wars.
Well, there's two different Secret Wars, and then there's a Secret War. It's not in the first Secret Wars.
It's not the one from the 70s.
Right.
It's the one from like the early 2000s. Where...
I think it's like 2012 or something.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the year... I've only read like half of it. But somebody attacks him, and he's in a coma.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything.
There you go. Yeah.
Because they can't cut it, so...
Well, there was a great moment in... That's one of the things I loved so much about him and Jessica Jones.
Right, because she has to go into his eyeball.
Which is horrendous to watch. But still, like, that's a great moment where you're like, what do I do?
I mean, the way that they kind of end this scene or this episode that we're talking about, where they had to go in through his throat...
That was fine, I guess.
I was like, okay... But I think they had already lost me was the problem.
Yeah.
If they had arrived at that conclusion sooner, then I would have been like, I would have been on board.
Yeah.
Because she even said the last time I did this, I had to go through his eye socket.
Yeah.
So why didn't they immediately just go, oh, well, we got to go through some internal thing. Like, we go up his nose or... down his throat or up his ass. I don't know. But we gotta get in there somehow. This is not going to be pleasant for anyone.
I also wasn't too fond of all of the shoehorned romantic angles. There was a lot of that.
There was. How do you feel about Night Nurse and him?
No.
Really?
Yes.
I was okay with it.
Nah. I mean, I really want her to be independent. I really want her... Because I get worried with these because Marvel doesn't do relationships very well.
No.
Marvel has... men who are the lead, and then they have relationship fodder who just eventually go off to the side.
Right, but what I did like about this is that's not necessarily the case. Like, he had sex with Misty Knight,
right,
and then she turns out just to be the cop,
right.
Which is fine.
She's great, by the way.
She's fantastic. And we had already established... The other thing I think works for me is that because we've already established Claire as a character in other series, it didn't feel... I know that she's not going to be fodder because I know she should just shows up
here's my other problem is that like she sort of already is because she's already had a relationship with all of the men that they have made shows with. Like she has already been the female relationship person for both Daredevil and Luke Cage.
Did she actually sleep with Daredevil?
I don't know, but it was clearly
implied.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was something going on between them.
Yeah.
And I want a show about her. I want to see her arc. Not necessarily a physical show.
You know they're going to give her one.
No. But I mean, even right now within the other shows, right. I want her to have her own show within their show where she's busy. She's like, I ain't got time for this. Yeah, or not even necessarily a subplot, but just but
what I'm saying is,
I can't. Yeah. I got my own shit going on. I got this blind dude. There's like that woman who came to me when you were knocked out. Like I can't handle this. You know?
Do you think they'll include it in the Defenders?
I don't know what they're gonna do. I just get worried.
Probably not because there's so much to. I'm sure there's gonna be so much to do.
Yeah. I also before we move on,
I just realized a piece of news that we didn't do last episode.
Would you like to get it out?
I gotta get it out now because it's gonna bug me now.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver is announced as the villain in the Defenders.
She was not announced as the villain. She was announced that she will be in the Defenders. There are heavy rumors saying that she will be the villain.
Fair enough, but she's gonna be the villain.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
I will say maybe I'll concede slightly that perhaps some of the reason I'm so against Claire and Luke Cage is because my OTP is Luke and Jessica Jones.
Yeah, but that'll happen.
I know.
Listen, play is gonna play. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna. But yeah, no. I mean that's gonna happen. But I think giving him a relationship like this gives them long ball. Meaning, like, that was a double entendre I didn't mean to make, but I'll gladly accept. Which is also a double... Never mind. Anyway, but it allows them to play long ball in that you establish the Claire-Luke relationship, and then that can kind of permeate and then fall away, and then you get Jessica... You know what I mean? Yeah. So it gives them some traction.
You know what I think was the biggest mistake in Luke Cage?
What's that?
I think instead of saying that his name came from that Bible verse, I think he should have been like, I mean, I've always really liked Nicolas Cage movies.
Holy Jesus.
Wouldn't that have been great?
It would have been great. It would have been amazing. It would have been...
It all comes full circle.
Yeah, the circle would have been complete then.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Nicolas Cage is originally Nicholas Coppola, and he, to get away from the easy fame of being related to
terrible stigma of being a part of the Coppola family.
Yeah, like i.e. Francis Ford Coppola. He decided to take the name of his favorite comic book character, who was Luke Cage.
Yeah. I mean, listen, surprised he didn't make a cameo in that.
That
guy will do anything. Great. He'll do anything.
Well, and also for Luke, like, to be in your favorite comic series.
I'm surprised he wasn't Cottonmouth, for God's sakes. Maybe next season.
Blackface.
Oh. All right. Let me see. I'm just trying to think what else. What else did I like? Or
I can just see Nicolas Cage like. He's like, Luke Cage is like, Cottonmouth, I'm coming after you, and he's like, the bees, because that's how Nicolas Cage acts.
That's how he sounds too. That was the best Nicolas Cage impression I have ever heard.
Thank you.
Ever. And that includes watching Nicolas Cage actually just be Nicolas Cage.
That's pretty good. He should have appeared as Superman.
That's what I say to that. I loved the Method Man cameo.
On our last episode when we were talking about this, I said there are two cameos. There's another cameo right after, in the same scene as the Stan Lee one, and I was like, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's magnificent. Yeah,
I loved it because I loved it. It was not just look. First, it worked on many different levels. Actually, it was a cheap cameo.
Yep.
B, the fact that they've been like playing Wu-Tang music throughout, like that's what he listens to.
Yep.
And Luke gets to... So you get to see Luke kind of fanboy out,
Yep.
which is kind of great.
You get to see them both. It's really great.
Which, for a second, I was like, oh, Method Man is making it... And then I realized, oh, he's playing Method Man.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize it at first.
Yeah.
And then... So you get to watch that cool exchange. And then it fucking takes it to another level where Method Man is in the radio station.
Yeah, it's real great.
And he has that
it's a great scene.
Great rap.
Yeah.
That brings home the message. And again, it's that message and that underlying theme that is so strong throughout the series, which is why I love the series so much.
Yes.
That I think it does really well.
Well, and specifically the message you're referring to is that there is no better time than now to have a bulletproof black man in a hoodie.
Yeah, absolutely. And and just speaking that, and finally just kind of the imagery was subtly there throughout not that subtly, but it was there throughout the series.
Yeah.
But then they just laid it all on Front Street.
Yep.
And they just said, no, this is the thing.
This is what it's about.
This is what this whole series is about. Jessica Jones just won a Pulitzer. Not just one, but first season won a Pulitzer.
That's great.
Because of what it does for, showing women and the fact that women get and abuse and championing that let me say that again. Not championing abuse. Championing overcoming abuse.
Yes.
And women being strong and women being heroes. That rap scene won this thing a Pulitzer. I get like if Jessica Jones won for this thing hits
I'll be honest. I think Jessica Jones does it better because it does it more subtly. It really doesn't hit you over the head with it.
But here's the... Go ahead.
All right. I was going to say, but Luke Cage's progressiveness is certainly more relevant.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I would also say, yeah, it is less subtle, but what I like is where they placed that scene is so perfectly placed. It does not feel like they're hitting you over the head with it.
Yeah.
It is the moment, because it not only plays to lay out what the underlying theme of the whole series is, but it is then they smartly use it as a story point catalyst.
Yes.
To get us to kind of the climax.
Well, what's interesting is that the X-Men have always been about this sort of controversy.
Right.
It's generally said that Charles Xavier represents Martin Luther King Jr. And Magneto represents Malcolm X.
Oh, really?
Yes. There's the two different... There's nonviolent resistance and then there's violent resistance. And those are the two ways to progress the culture, and they've always been at war. So who's right, who's to say?
Right.
The MCU no longer hasn't had X-Men for a long time, but it seems like something they're doing now with Civil War is... The police don't go after Luke Cage because he's black. The citizens of the city don't hate Luke Cage because he's black.
Right.
They hate him because he's a super person.
Right.
That's why they want him. They're worried about him because he's different.
Yeah. He's different and he's dangerous.
Which is an analogy for... X-Men has been an analogy for many things depending on who's reading it and what time period. Because it was about the gay rights movement as well for a long time. And, so it's that... Luke Cage certainly does a better job than anything we've seen so far in the MCU of saying you're different and you're what's wrong with society. People just nailing that, like nailing this guy to the wall about you're different than us. That makes you scary, and that's something that a lot of people have a lot of difficulty. That a lot of people experience, and it's unfortunate. So it's really relatable.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I think. And again, I've said this a million times now, but that's I think what elevates this show for me above Daredevil season 1, above Jessica Jones. And it's why it's funny because I liked it more than Daredevil season 2, and then it dipped.
Yep.
And then it raised up to a point of almost being equal with Daredevil season 2 because of those moments.
Yeah.
And then we hit a certain point.
The finale. The last episode.
Boy, Diamondback looks like an idiot, doesn't he?
I forgive that. I don't forgive... He is an idiot.
He's just...
Why is he fighting Luke Cage in the middle of the street with a bunch of people? He's such a genius. The dude runs like a gun cartel.
Right.
Why is he doing this?
It's just, yeah.
Why does he bring it all down just for a couple
becomes a
swings?
street fight.
This is a man who is much smarter than this.
Yeah, I know. And he has been this whole season.
Well before we've been introduced
He's
to
already
him.
outsmarted Luke Cage by being able to find a bullet that can pierce him.
Yep.
And... like get the best on him.
And sell it to someone
so
he doesn't even have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it sort of falls
but
apart.
he also did it
yes,
as well.
He had to eventually. But the idea was he set up this whole plan so
Right.
that his name would not even be attached to killing Luke Cage. He could do it and have the benefit of killing Luke Cage himself without even pulling the trigger.
Yeah, so it just was so... it was really anticlimactic.
Yep.
In that it's just a regular street fight.
Yep.
And they... the last episode, first of all, I'm just going to say it one more time. God, that outfit was so goddamn stupid.
Which one?
The Diamondback outfit.
I don't mind it. Again, like...
I get they were trying to go, like, hey, it's an homage to the original...
I don't care about that either. Like, I never care about that stuff. But I really don't think that it's that big of a deal. Like, I didn't think it looked any more ridiculous than any other villain we've ever seen.
But then, to go with it, the science behind it...
Sure.
Is so...
Well, the science behind most of Luke Cage makes no sense. Like, fact that a 250-pound man could get hit by a van and be fine and not fly away.
Believe me, I understand we're talking about comic book logic on this. But what I was going to say is, again, it had a chance to... it had a chance to save itself.
Yeah.
Like, at first thought, the science behind it is kind of interesting. So it's a suit that absorbs the energy. So that's what makes him strong.
Right.
Right? And you have these flashback scenes in the last episode to the young them, and they're teaching each other blah and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Luke realizes how the suit runs and stops fighting, and that's what stops him. Get that. Great. Wonderful. It took me... I
didn't get that, actually.
But that's what I was going to say. At first, on first viewing, I did not understand why the fight was over. Like, it just stopped.
Is it? Doesn't he knock him out or something?
He does, but what happens is, so they're fighting, they're duking it out, and at some point Luke Cage realizes, and I don't know, and again, it's so, like, quick.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that isn't explained very well.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. They kind of gloss over these details, that the suit runs on the energy that's impacted to it.
Sure.
So, like, if you watch the first... somebody fires a bullet... Missy fires a bullet at him when he first enters, and it doesn't, like, ping off.
Yeah.
It, like, ripples and absorbs in.
Yeah.
That's to show that it's absorbing that energy, and that's what's giving him this... that's what's booting it up. That's what's giving him the strength. And so they're fighting, and the more Luke fights, the stronger Diamondback is. And then Luke realizes, if I stop fighting him, if I stop the violence, it will stop. If I choose the Martin Luther King, this could have been a much better analogy. Yes. But he was just like, yeah, I'm not going to fight anymore. And they're all standing out in the street, and everybody's watching, and he's like, no, fight me. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to fight. And he's punching away, and he's getting weaker, and he's like, no, I'm not going to fight. And then it's just like, over.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What just happened here? Like, that could have been a really profound
moment. Well, doesn't Luke Cage punch the shit out of him a bunch?
He does, like,
after
one time. That? Yeah, I don't know. I, like, turned away and looked back. It was like watching a real boxing match, because, like, I was watching it, and I turned away and looked back, and all of a sudden it's over. I could have rewound it, but
there's a lot of stuff in that. I mean, it was incredibly anticlimactic. It didn't make much sense.
Also, that's in the first 10 minutes of the last episode.
Yeah.
Of a 59-minute episode.
Yep. Well, yeah, I felt like that fight should have been 25 or 30 minutes, possibly of him chasing him all around Harlem.
Yeah, that could have been great.
I also didn't understand, like, there was something that I kept noticing. Whenever he would punch Diamondback would spin around, and there's like an energy box on his back. And I was
punch that thing.
Luke Cage, just grab it.
Just grab
Luke
it.
Cage just looked like an idiot. Yeah. Like, I was like, just rip off the helmet
or
whatever.
The other thing, rip off the helmet. The helmet has no covering for the mouth. Just flick him in the jaw.
Yep.
Done.
There's a bunch of stuff.
That's it. Yeah. There was a...
How about restraining him? You don't have to give any concussive force.
Right.
How about just holding him by the arms until the police get there?
Just hold him by the forehead like a small child or let him swing himself tired and just do that. That would have been better.
Another thing I felt like they didn't explain very well was who Diamondback is to Luke Cage. Because when he first got there and he was like, it's Diamondback, I was like, is he a guy from prison? I was like, I don't recognize him.
Yeah.
Why don't we know who this is, but Luke Cage does? And they didn't like, even just saying like he's an old friend of mine from childhood. That would have been great from the beginning.
Right.
Because he's with someone else. I forget who, but maybe Claire. Or someone
Luke Cage's,
when Time and Back first comes out and he quotes the Warriors and whatever.
Which I will say that was
great entrance.
Great entrance.
Yeah, fantastic.
Right.
I didn't know who he was though, and I was very confused. My girlfriend asked me who he was, and I was like, "Oh, I think it's a guy he knew from prison, right? Isn't that one of the guys?"
He was his college roommate.
Yeah, right. Hey, by the way, in the comics, Diamondback has a much more interesting backstory.
Yeah.
They're not brothers. They're very good friends.
Yeah.
He is in love
with the same woman.
With Riva.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been kills so much him better. For Riva.
Yeah. Would have been so much better. But you know what the problem is? Is that I guess one of the hard things about that is that because Riva is now interlocked with Jessica Jones's storyline, it makes for an awkward thing.
See, I disagree. I think that's great. I think it gives a reason for Jessica. It's another reason for Jessica Jones and Luke Cage to tie in together.
No, that works great. What I'm saying is then the Diamondback and Luke Cage conflict loses some steam because Kilgrave is really the one who's responsible for...
Right, yeah.
You know what? Kilgrave and Jessica Jones... Luke Cage wasn't even really there.
Right.
So Diamondback wouldn't be able to come and say like, oh, you're the reason the woman I love is dead.
See, I think he still could.
I mean, he still
because
could.
I
think it loses
she trusted you.
Yeah.
You have superpowers. What are you doing? You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, you lost this woman, she wandered off, and the next thing you know, she got hit by a bus or something? Like, what is wrong with you? This is your fault.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I think that would have been much more interesting.
Rather than whatever the hell this was.
You were the golden child, I guess?
Yeah, well, because it was... So, Diamondback is the bastard son...
Of Luke Cage's dad.
Luke Cage's dad, and then Luke Cage's mom was never supposed to be able to have children, and then Luke came along. So, it was considered like a miracle.
It's very Greek, but it's fine.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Which is ironic, because he just quotes the Bible the whole time.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that, like I said, the ending really kind of fell apart for me.
It really did.
Here's the other thing that kind of, it really clicked for me at the end, watching them all fight out in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
But it's kind of throughout. While I love how open and public the existence of Luke Cage is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, yes, I get the... practicality of having all these things because like everyone's shooting different schedules and but then you got to be aware of that when you're writing this storyline. So Luke Cage is the first of these super powered beings that is really kind of out in the open on the street level. I'm saying in the Netflix series.
Well, I was gonna say
Jessica Jones is kind of known. But
not as loud.
But she keeps it. She's like,
trying really
hard. She
goes
goes out of her way to keep it from happening. Yeah. Luke Cage is. They're like Luke Cage is the hero of Harlem. Like throughout that whole, even in the first 5 episodes that I saw last week.
Yeah.
It's reported on the news.
Yeah.
Like
on the Harlem local news.
I'm like, how is Shield not like just coming down and be like, hey, we got to talk to you.
Are you watching Are you current on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I'm not.
Because I was going to say, I'm not either, but I was going to say, I think it's very likely that they're busy.
Right, but S.H.I.E.L.D's a larger organization. I'm not saying
especially
those
with
agents.
Civil War happening. And
yeah, but I just, like, some sort of reference. Like, it makes sense. It would make sense in this cinema. Again, I get the practicality of, like, these characters are off doing this, and these characters are off doing this. But if you are, in your continuity... have a large organization.
Yes.
And their main thing is like, we keep track of these guys.
No, that's a good
point.
There's
literally one on the news every day in Harlem, and it's a brand new one, and he's the savior of Harlem.
Yeah.
Somebody, random S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Smith, might actually show up and be like, hey, you, get in the car a second. I gotta talk to you.
Who's to say he would even do it, though? He probably wouldn't, right?
No, but but it's not addressed.
I was actually going to say, I thought it would be great. Okay, so here's the next topic.
Okay.
Cameos.
Okay, let's do it.
Good amount, could be less, fewer, could be more.
Let's see, we had Method Man.
Right.
We had, are we calling Claire a cameo?
Yeah.
Okay.
The district attorney. from Jessica Jones, who
Yes.
was the assistant district attorney until his boss died.
No, that's from Daredevil 2.
Oh, right.
Yeah. What did we just say? Claire, lawyer,
District attorney.
District attorney.
Trish is on the radio at one
Trish
point.
is on the radio.
Stanley.
Stanley, Method Man.
You already said Method Man.
No, I know. I'm just
okay.
keeping track of it. Now I'm doing it on my fingers.
Oh, okay. That might be it.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's pretty
close.
good. That's a solid amount of
Yeah.
cameos to fit. I mean, that's 6 and out of 13 episodes. That's almost a cameo every 2
It is,
things.
yeah.
And there's several references to
Everyone
Matt
else.
Murdock. And
Right.
there's one
Yeah.
specific reference to Jessica Jones.
Yep.
Or 2.
Well,
I think
there's a million references to that guy with the hammer and the
which I don't even count anymore because
Yeah.
I just hate those and they're dumb.
They're getting old real quick.
Although that one thing I had about the DVDs or the Blu-rays of the incident
the
that
incident.
came back around. It was nice to see that come back around with the guy filming the Luke Cage thing.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
pretty good.
But even that that was back to my original point of like they're fighting in the middle of Harlem.
Yep.
2 strongmen. No one from S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up and like,
Nope.
hey, knock it off,
So
jackasses.
that's what I was going to say, is that I think it would have been great for Clark Gregg to show up too late and they take Diamond back in.
Right, but that's what I mean. This is what I'm saying. It's like no one from S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up early in the episodes just so that you can get it out of the way and say this is what happened.
Yep.
And then they're literally fighting in the street, like the Hulk and what's his name, Abomination, fought in the middle of Harlem as well. Which, by the way, no one references that in Harlem.
They sure don't.
That just clicks for me now.
Yeah, we've just finished rebuilding this whole place.
Yeah, like no one says anything about that. They talk about the incident, which happened 100 blocks south.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. It was a different guy.
It was a different time back
It was
then.
a different guy.
Yeah.
It was a different Harlem.
It was just weird. There's no reference to that. None.
I think Marvel's ashamed of that movie.
I've rewatched that movie. It's not as bad as
We've
people
talked
think it
about
is.
it actually.
It's
We
not that
both
bad.
said we like it very much.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the better ones, but
it's really underrated.
they're just not.
As a Marvel movie in the scope of all
I
the
think
Marvel
it's more
movies,
because they had to switch out the main character.
fine, but still, I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, you put Don Cheadle all over the place,
Yep.
and you have no qualms about that.
Yep.
And yeah, that just clicked for me now. I'm like, there's no reference.
Yep.
You know.
Seems kind of strange.
Yeah, it does. It seems really strange.
Just like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah. So they're just fighting in the middle of the street. Nobody from any other entity shows up. They're just leaving that to the local NYPD. I just whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, here's the other thing. If Cottonmouth got out of jail, Diamondback isn't gonna.
Yeah. Also, the senator or whatever she is, city councilwoman.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all nervous and da-da-da, and I'm like, come on, Cottonmouth got out in a day. You got to have the same swag, right?
Yeah.
What are you so? She just freaks.
And
out.
also, Diamondback paid for the lawyer for Cottonmouth, right? Isn't that what happened?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I think he's probably fine.
Yeah, he should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it really needed Clark Gregg to step in and be
Yeah, it
we
did.
got a place to take
Yeah,
him.
there's just a thing. Yeah, anything just to again like layer over the. We said it last week. Like the more you can put in this, like I want more of it.
Yeah. You know, it would have been great to have like an MIB style thing where Clark Gregg shows up and he's like, don't worry, we've got this. And they get a bunch of people to go, all right, cut, that's a wrap. And they go to like the crowd and they're like, thank you for being part of us filming the Luke Cage biopic.
Yes.
This is an actor. They're both actors.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. You can go back to your homes now. Have a good night. And they just like haul him
and he's
off.
like, get in the car now.
That would have been great.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
But nothing on that.
I'm getting kind of sick of not seeing the people we've already seen. Like, this could have used Daredevil or Jessica Jones.
Right.
Like, Jessica Jones coming to look for him would be really interesting.
I'm surprised we didn't get one cameo from Jessica Jones.
Or even like I was like, are we going to see David Tennant in a flashback? Or like...
Oh, that was one thing that I was disappointed in, is that they set up the Reva storyline. We know what the end of the Reva storyline is.
Right.
They set it up and they never patched that together.
Correct.
Like, that's one of the whole reasons, that's one of the whole reasons we're all coming to the show.
Yeah.
Is because We like this character from Jessica Jones.
Yep.
We're interested in his story. We know how it ends at that point. You got to fill us in.
Yep. They
You
sure
gotta-
don't.
And they don't.
Maybe that'll be the Defenders.
I guess, but like, what else is there to do? Because
Yeah, I don't know.
Kilgrave is dead anyway, so what does it matter? I just want to know, how did we get there? I know that they fell in love.
Yeah.
Like, they have the one episode of the flashbacks of them kind of having a relationship,
Yep.
and then he escapes from prison,
Yep.
and then nothing.
And then they're somehow kind of together at some point?
Yeah, but that was a very vague scene
Yeah.
where I actually thought, wait, did we flash back again to prison?
Well, didn't we
But then
find
they're in a
out?
hotel
We
room
found
or
out
something.
later as well that she was actually in on it, right? That she actually knew about.
Oh,
the
about the experiment?
experiments and-
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we did. I think that's where they were flashing to the scenes in the hotel room, and the motel room, whatever it is.
Yes.
But it was really vague of when that
Yeah.
fell on a timeline.
Yep. Yeah, no, a lot of this felt like a lot of this felt like they got a first draft and just ran with it.
Because now I'm trying to think, how did Reva fit into Jessica Jones again?
Jessica Jones, they were both controlled by
Right, but
him at the same time. And
was there a specific reason Reva herself was being controlled? Like, what did Kilgrave want with her? There was a USB thing. There was a flash drive.
Right. So she had a flash drive.
What was the flash drive on? What had the flash drive on it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't.
you gotta, fill it in. Even if it's just the end of that hotel scene, he leaves the hotel room, knock, 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 open door, silhouette of Kilgrave, and just Tennant's voice goes, "Follow me." I now know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Because I can watch Jessica Jones and fill it in.
Yeah.
But just how did we get to Kilgrave? Like, you gotta...
No, that's a good point. Yeah, was she just walking by one day and he was like, you?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, just something. I do want to know.
That's the thing about Kilgrave. It can be as weak as anything.
Who do you think the enemy is going to be in the Defenders?
Sigourney Weaver.
Well...
What do I think she'll play?
Yeah, it's not going to be Sigourney Weaver. She's going to be playing the enemy.
No. I'm going to say it's the actress Sigourney Weaver playing herself. And she is just going to... She's like, I've had it with this acting thing.
I'd buy that.
I need a different...
better gig.
I need a better gig. I'm taking over New York City. Forget Broadway. I'm going straight to the top.
Yep.
I don't know, but I really want it to be something with the hand.
Sure. Yeah.
It's got to be something with the hand.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure they did a lot of setting up in Daredevil Season 2 for the Defenders. And I'm sure Iron Fist is going to
I was going to say, I'm sure Danny Rand is going to take over.
Take
off,
of shit
take on the hand.
Yeah. He's got to take on the hand. So I'm hoping she's with the hand.
Here's my last question about Luke Cage.
Okay.
Do you think they are running out of ethnic groups that can be gangs?
Well, okay. So we have the hand, which is Asian.
Well, there's Chinese and Japanese. There's
Right.
two different. I think the hand is Japanese. I may be wrong, but I think because there's the tiny old woman who is not the hand, right? She's Chinese.
Isn't she the hand?
I think she's just part of her own separate drug
sure
cartel.
we've ever seen any of these series. The more we talk about this,
We may have just dreamed them up. But
yeah.
we've got. I'm nearly certain we have a Japanese person and a Chinese person. Both are the heads of, because the Japanese guy died and then came back to life.
Right.
So we've got those two. The Irish were in Daredevil Season 2.
Yeah, they were. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a whole big thing.
Yeah.
What else have we got? We've got African American gangs are all over Luke Cage.
Yeah.
So that's that. What have we got left? Italian.
Yeah, we haven't had the Italian mob yet.
The what are they called? They have a name in.
Oh, the Magia.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they couldn't back then. The Comics
right.
Code wouldn't let them use the term mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Magia. Oh man, if they brought in the Magia, that would be
the Defenders.
Well, yeah, but I feel like that's something you could handle. If it's going to be the Defenders, then it's got to be something supernatural.
Yeah.
Because you have 3 super strong people and a guy in a weird costume.
I agree mostly. Here's the problem with that, though. If it's supernatural, it can't be a big enough threat that the Avengers are on it.
Yes, but it can't be a small enough threat that here's the thing with the Magia that would be a problem is that's a good Daredevil plot because that's something you have to infiltrate.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of like the defenders don't need to infiltrate anything. I mean, a little bit they do, but they can pretty much just like punch through a wall and come in and be like,
that's
hey, we're here.
That makes sense. But that would be a good role for Sigourney Weaver to be the lead, like the head of the Don.
Right. That would be awesome. Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be, but I think there's got to be something supernatural-esque about it.
Sure.
That's why I think it's going to be the hand, because it's quiet enough that the Avengers wouldn't show up. It's supernatural enough that you can combat it. You need superpowers to combat it.
Yep.
And it's also secret enough that no one really knows about it.
Right.
In any of the other branching aspects of this universe.
Yeah. We'll probably know by the end of Iron Fist.
Oh, we'll definitely know. I will say I really want Iron Fist to have some aspect of the costume.
Oh, yeah.
As a permanent thing.
Well,
here's why.
All right.
Picture the 4 defenders.
Mm-hmm.
How many are in street clothes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's going to look really dumb if it's like
Daredevil.
Jessica Jones in a leather jacket, Luke Cage in a hoodie, and Danny Rand in sweatpants, and Daredevil shows up in like this spandex.
He's like, "Hey guys,"
he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And
I'm ready to fight.
What's with the S&M outfit? Like, what's going on here?
He's like, "Look, I'm blind. It's hard for me to pick my clothes."
Oh man, I have to do this by touch. What do you want from me? Does this match?
Well, here's my reasoning for it. I'm getting kind of sick of all the superheroes out in the open because we don't really have any. There's nobody in the movie MCU, right? Who's a secret. Everybody knows who everyone is.
Yes, yeah, I'm pretty
sure.
Yeah, Thor doesn't have one. Steve Rogers is known. Iron Man is known.
Even
Ant-Man.
Sure, Ant-Man. Yeah, we got, but who cares? Spider-Man, I guess.
Spider-Man, but we just got.
But we know Black Panther because they unmasked him when they arrested him.
Yeah, Doctor Strange? We don't know. I don't know.
I mean, his name is Doctor Strange. Like, people will have always known who Doctor Strange is.
He kind of also, he kind of like, nobody knows who he is, but that's because he kind of doesn't exist on this physical world.
Sure.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. He plays in the astral
Most people are like, oh, remember that famous Doctor? He's that guy now.
Now he's in a different dimension. Whatever.
I want more secretive. I want that card to be played more.
Again, but that's what I'm saying. That goes back to like, if you're gonna have this continuity throughout all these things, and you're gonna have all these people out in the open, somebody's gonna show up and say, "Hey, you get over here."
Yeah, exactly.
You can't. What are you doing? You can't have a street. Get in the damn car.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to Shield.
Yeah.
You're getting registered.
Yep.
I don't know if you noticed the Sokovia Accords, but this is like way out of line.
Yeah.
Get in here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right? Give me your name and your number.
Yeah.
And you're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Or you're putting on a uniform.
Yeah, or you'll do it when we tell you to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here's a badge.
Yeah.
Or get in jail.
Yeah.
Save your Harlem. Come on. What are you thinking? It's 20 blocks.
Yeah.
Super strength to save 20 blocks of brownstones? What are you doing?
And you idiot. Hell's Kitchen? Hell's Kitchen is fine.
Come on.
Hell's Kitchen has been fine since 1998.
Just buy a Thai restaurant. Get over it.
I thought you were going to say just buy a tie. Get a job. You look like a lawyer.
Damn it.
Get a job as a lawyer.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So I feel like we've sufficiently covered that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
And I started by saying I love this series. And we've done nothing but shit on all of it.
I mean, it has a lot of problems.
It does. It has a lot of holes. That being said,
the cinematography is great. The music is great. The direction is great. A lot of the acting is really good. Some of it is fine. None of it is bad.
Not great. I'm not.
Luke Cage?
Yeah, he's just.
Mike Coulter?
Yeah, he's just kind of one note for me.
I agree.
Yeah, that speech at the end
agree.
in the end of the last episode, I get it was supposed to be rousing. It's not.
I don't care about his character. I don't. There's nothing that he has said that makes me go, oh, I like that guy.
I wanted to see him yell one time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, get pissed.
Yes. Or any emotion, really. He doesn't really expand very much on that, which might be the directing, it might be the writing, it might be the acting.
Yeah.
The writing is honestly the worst part, and if your writing is bad, then and it's not bad, it's just fine. But if your writing is bad, you feel it in every part of it.
Shades is great.
He's a great actor.
Shades, I want to be the next main villain.
Yes.
Of season 2. I want him to step up.
Yep.
And take over.
Yeah.
Take
over for Diamondback.
Take over for Diamondback.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I thought that he was great.
Turk is another cameo. The guy that Daredevil beats up a lot in both seasons. He's in it a bunch.
Yeah.
He's the one who's like, I don't need to be here, and he tries to leave, and Luke Cage shoves him in a dumpster and locks him.
That's right. I knew it. They kept saying Turk, and I was like, I know that name from something.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did the one guy from Jessica Jones show up? He did. He's playing chess with, in like the first episode or something. He's playing chess with the old guy. Oh shit!
The guy from Jessica Jones.
Is the one guy? And was it the heroin addict that showed up?
Nah.
No, there's somebody. There is a guy from Jessica Jones. I read about it, and I was like, oh yeah, that was that guy. He's playing chess with what's his name, Bobby Fischer.
Yeah, Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish. Yeah. Who I love that guy.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
That guy's having a hell of a year.
Yeah?
Well, he's in Mr. Robot.
Oh yeah.
He's in Mr. Robot.
That's right.
He's in this.
Yeah.
And he's in that new show This Is Us.
Oh, okay.
He's in that too. I'm like, this guy, and I've looked this guy up because I'm like, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
He only started like getting screen roles like 10 years ago.
I'm just happy he didn't die. Because I was waiting for it.
I'm so happy. Yeah. Well, I mean, they gotta have an old man to kill off next season. That's really all it comes
They'll just
down
get Forrest Whitaker.
Why not? Why not? Do you think... Oh, here. Okay, let me ask you this.
All right.
So they say at the end, it doesn't... It feels like it doesn't want to be a barbershop anymore. Do you think they're talking about making it into Heroes for Hire? What do you think it's going to be?
They're really obviously going against Heroes for Hire.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's going to be Heroes for Hire because I think they're doing everything they can to get us to like Luke Cage, and I feel like if he started charging, we wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would care about him much less. I'd be like, really, you're taking people's money? I mean, inevitably in the comics, he never took the money. Yeah. He'd be like, you know what, we're good, and then like wander off.
Right.
But I think it is more likely that it will be the home of the Defenders. Like it'll be the Avengers Tower.
I love the idea of the Defenders have just this glass storefront.
Yeah.
Like, it's hilarious to me.
Yeah, well, it's great, right? Because it's like
and 4 desks that they all sit behind.
Well, the Defenders are like the kiddie table to the Avengers Thanksgiving dinner.
But I just love you're walking down the street and like in the window you just see Daredevil with his feet up on his desk.
Well, you know it's interesting too because so far
every
single show has had a home base.
Right.
You know there's not Matt and Murdock, Nelson and Murdock. They have their own office. Jessica Jones has her own office.
Right.
Luke Cage has the barbershop.
Right.
So I think that's pretty
I
interesting.
really just wanted him to open a new bar. Just whatever.
Yeah. Just go back to the other one.
Oh, you mean Harlem's Paradise?
Yeah. Oh, no. What? Oh, the other one blew up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Rebuild it. It's
fine. Yeah. I mean, again, as much as we shit on it this episode, I actually really
this show.
As we shit on
this show during
this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
I do really like it. Again, all of these things are kind of nitpicky.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I hated that episode 8 thing, I knew if I get through it, it's going to lead to something really good, and it did. It led to something.
And I mean, there was a lacking of a catharsis at the end of the show, but with the fight and then with the final monologue. But it's still fine.
It's still really good.
It's fine. Yeah. I mean, what I'll say is that like I still think it's the worst show that Marvel has dished out so far. That being said, it's like saying Ant-Man's the worst Marvel movie. Right. It's still pretty good. It's
still better than 99% of all of the other shows that are out there.
And what are you going to do? Watch a DC movie? Oh my. It hurts.
I have an interesting tidbit that I heard that we can end on. So, and it's kind of sad. I'll warn you with that. So apparently... the music played a heavy theme throughout the entire show.
Yes, it did.
And you had a lot of... Do you know where I'm going with this?
No, I don't. But you said evidently the music played. Okay. I was like, it sure did.
So there were a lot of musical acts throughout the
they
season.
were great.
The swear jar was apparently a reference to entice a certain artist to come onto the show. And that artist is Prince.
Oh.
Prince is renowned for, because he was a Jehovah's Witness,
he
did not swear.
Yeah.
And he was renowned for having a swear jar at his home in Minnesota.
Sure.
And if you swore, you had to put $1 in it. And the rumor is that the creator of the show was a big fan of Prince and put the swear jar in as like a little nod to
like
him,
a wink,
in hopes to entice Prince to come onto the show.
Wow.
And Prince died too early to know what his role would have been. But the rumor is, I guess maybe people are thinking the hope would be that he would have been the final musical act on the final episode.
Wow.
Which would have been
stellar.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's just a little like the road that could have been. It's kind of neat.
That would have helped it.
Definitely
that would have helped the last
So
episode.
I will say, that last musical number,
I don't remember.
the 100 Days, 100 Nights.
I don't remember it. Is that the one where Misty walks in and she looks like her comic book self?
When did she... What? When did that happen?
She walks in at the very end and she's got like a full afro and like a nice dress and...
Oh, yeah. Oh, that does look like her comic book self because of the afro.
Yeah. Also, fun Easter egg.
Okay.
When she gets shot in the arm, this obviously isn't what this is going to be, but she ends up getting a bionic arm in the comics.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
And she also is Danny Rand's girlfriend. So we'll see if that ends up taking place.
I did not know that. Mm-hmm. All right. Last, 2 minutes of this.
Yeah.
You're the Marvel guy.
Yeah.
Any other Easter eggs you noticed throughout this season?
No.
All right. Once again, we end these episodes strong.
Well, we still have reading assignments.
Oh yeah, we do still have. Oh boy.
I know. I'm going to be cutting a lot of stuff.
All right. So let's
zoom through these.
Let's do reading assignments. Yeah. Right. Do you want to start?
Sure.
All right. Go.
So you gave me Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yes, I did.
And that's not a book. It was a watching assignment. You gave me the novelization.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it's Shane Black, Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer, and some woman.
Megan Moynihan, I think.
Monaghan. It's very good.
Yeah?
I did see there's a twist at the end, and I won't reveal what it is. It's very old, so I'm sure most of the people have seen it.
Right.
I had not yet, but I did see it coming.
Okay.
But it was fine.
It's a fun ride.
Yes, it is. This strengthens my opinion that Shane Black does buddy movies better.
Yes, he does.
Than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, Shane Black created Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
Which is one of the greatest buddy movies ever.
It's great. So you told me Val Kilmer shined more than anyone in this. I thought he was fine.
Really?
I thought Robert Downey Jr. was much better.
Okay.
And what's his face? The guy who plays the dad in Psych, who's in it. He plays...
no idea.
I don't actually know the actor's name.
Okay.
Is it Corbin Burnson?
Yes. Who's the character?
The dad.
Yeah. Corbin Burnson.
He's pretty great.
Yeah, he is pretty great.
Really interesting turns and twists. It reads intentionally like an old detective novel.
Yeah,
which is great. It works, and in that way, it works incredibly well.
Yeah, I think it's a really fun ride. Even if you see what the twist is coming, you're just enjoying being there. It's really interesting.
And to be fair, I did say, "Oh, it's this," and then 10 minutes later, I was like, "Oh, that's not it." And then I was like, "Oh, it's this," and then it wasn't it. And then it was, and it was just like the last one that I did. I was like, "Oh, I bet it's this."
You were one scene ahead, but you're never 40 scenes ahead.
Right, exactly.
Which is really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Good.
Now I gave you Mouse.
You did. You gave me Mouse. It took me a couple weeks to finish it.
Sure did.
I did actually finish it though. I really enjoyed it. And what I'll say is this: obviously, this is a seminal piece of work in comics history. Yes, it's about a very historic and tragic time.
Yep.
For me, what was actually more compelling as the story went on was the more human side of a story of a father and a son.
Yes.
And a son trying to understand who his father is, by finding out where his father has come from.
And it starts through his work.
And
he's just doing it because it's part of his job.
Yeah, and those are the aspects that I found really interesting. And when you get into comics, you just kind of, I think Mouse is one of those things that everyone knows, so nobody reads a whole lot because they just know it's a great piece of work. So we can just say it's great, and I don't actually have to read it to say that.
Yeah.
One of the joys in actually diving into this is what makes it great is that it's so self-aware.
Yes.
The second book starts with him talking about in between the coming out of the first book, the father has died.
Yeah, I was going to ask what you thought about that.
And it's great, and it's such a great, interesting, it's so self-referential.
Yeah, there are a few scenes that are just, you could rip them straight out of the comic.
Yeah.
And they almost should have been taken out because they don't fit at all in the style. They don't fit with the story or the arc, but they just feel great.
But they feel great. And you're right. Plot-wise, you can take them out.
Yeah.
But to have them in there, when they do get back into it, it enriches.
Yes, it strengthens everything that comes
that
after.
you're doing. Yeah. And it gives the tone of the second book such a kind of a poignant thing because he talks about his dad and how he's died, and he's like, now I don't know what to do with this book, and I've gotten a lot of fame for it. And then he dives back into the recordings, and now we're back into that through line.
Yeah, like it never happened.
Now you're viewing the dad in a whole different light because you know that he's no longer around.
Well, it's interesting because you and the writer are looking back on it now, having never read it yourself.
Yeah,
or listened
he has
to
now
it.
put you in his place in a more full way than he did in the first book.
Yeah.
You are completely hand in hand with him going along on this journey at the exact same pace, which is really interesting. So, like I said, this is a piece of work that I've always known about, but never actually read. Yeah. And so there were a lot of surprises in it in that aspect, which was really refreshing and really cool. You want to give me yours, or you want me? Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I will be giving you Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, okay, great.
All 6 books.
Bastard.
I know you don't have to read all of them, but you're gonna have access to them, so you can read them.
I've heard they're pretty quick reads, so
they are extremely quick, and they're just magnificent. So I'm giving you all 6 books, and there's also like a free comic book day comic that's in there too.
Who doesn't love that?
You're gonna have them later. I'm gonna give them to you later.
They haven't arrived in the mail yet.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool.
That's the reason.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
You got anything for me?
Yeah, I do. So, you are caught up with season 2 of The Flash?
I am.
Great. Season 3 just premiered. We are 2 episodes in. Your assignment is to watch the first 2 episodes of The Flash.
It's so hard to find. I tried. I'll do it.
Talking about it's hard to go to the CW website.
But I can't cast it to my TV.
Get over yourself.
All right, I'll do it.
The season 3 started up. The first, I think we talked about it. The first episode is called Flashpoint.
Yep. What's interesting too, because you prefaced it by saying that it was sort of a spoiler, and it really isn't.
It's not.
Like the entire second season happens, and then there's like 10 seconds at the end where that happens, and it's just used as a cliffhanger to get you interested in the next season.
Yes, and I've now watched the first 2 episodes. I will tell you. No, I'm not gonna tell you anything.
Do you want to do the first 2 seasons of Flash next week?
To go through it since Flash is starting up?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Let's say we'll do that, and then if something better comes
yeah.
up, we'll do that. But that's definitely something we can do.
All right.
Because all these CW shows are now like Arrow is 2 episodes in, Flash is 2 episodes in, Supergirl is 1 episode in, which I just watched yesterday.
I really got to watch Arrow as well, because there's a lot of stuff in Flash that just doesn't make any sense.
I can clear that up for you pretty quickly, and then other than that, Arrow's okay.
Yeah,
it starts off really good, and then the last couple of seasons.
That's what I've heard.
Supergirl is one that I might make that a reading assignment at some point, because that one's actually
a whole season in.
It's one we just started the second season.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
All right,
I might give you that one.
Great.
Yeah, but watch the first 2 episodes of Flash, and then we'll talk about that. Unless we don't,
Yeah, I'll do it if I feel like it.
You'll do it because I say to do it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you will be. All right, Andrew.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's
going to
be it for us. Hey, Andrew. Where can they find us?
I'm
going to list them off. Ready? Here we
Yep.
go. Website.
Yep.
What's the website?
Okay. It's themedialunchbreak.com.
Twitter.
We are at Media Lunch Break on twitter.com.
YouTube.
Yep. You can
Just
search for us on
YouTube.
that.
Just search the YouTube.
Yep.
SoundCloud.
Yep. SoundCloud.com/TheMediaLunchBreak.
Okay. Because you can subscribe to us on
Yes.
that, right?
Yeah. We've got like 30 subscribers now, I think, but it'd be great to have some more.
All right. iTunes.
Oh yeah, we're on there.
Yep. You can
Search for
subscribe
us.
to us on that.
Mhm.
Leave us a review.
Yep.
I think there was one point where we said if you leave us a 5-star review, you can just tell us something
Sure.
to do. And
Yeah, we'll do
just
it. We don't like
It was
most of
something
our.
like if you give us a 5-star review
Look.
and leave punch each other in the dick, we'll just do it.
Look, here's
and that
the
stands.
here's the thing.
Punch each other or punch yourselves.
The
I
best
don't
the
care.
best episode that we have done so far has been a recommended topic.
That's true. Yeah, so if you recommend a topic, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Because God knows we just can't keep coming up with this shit
Yep.
ourselves. That's 5.
Google Play Music.
Google Play Music.
We're on there.
Patreon.
Yep. Patreon.com/TheMediaLunchBreak.
Throw in a couple of bucks. Keep this going.
Yeah. You think I know the last one?
7.
It's the one we always forget.
We always forget the website, and I already said that one.
No, there's another one we always forget. We don't usually forget the website. We usually forget.
Email!
Yep, that is themedialunchbreak@gmail.com.
Alright! Yeah!
Send us an email, send us a tweet. I don't really check the email. I check Twitter a lot.
Yeah.
So do that, probably.
Yeah, tweet us more than email us. But if you gotta send some hate and it's gotta be over 140 characters because that's how much you hate us, go for it.
By the way, tweet us sounds like something Wilford Brimley would say in a diabetes commercial.
Tweet us. Diabetes.
I eat at Wendy's. I get a lot of Frosties, so I have diabetes.
Oh, now I'm the Frosties.
I love Frosties.
All right, everybody. That's gonna do it for us this week.
That's it.
Come back next week, and maybe we'll have something, and maybe we won't, and it'll be fun for everybody to find out, won't it?
Either way, it's going to be real entertaining.
All right. See you then.
Bye.